Hi, I'm Tasha from fitnessfinder.com, and today I've got your quick core strength circuits workout. You'll have a quick warm-up, 2 core circuits, and then a quick cool down. All you need for equipment today is a mat, and I'll show you some modifications along the way. Let's go ahead and get started. Warm up. Your warm-up is roughly 2.5 minutes. We've got 4 exercises that we're going to roll through. 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 1 time through. This is an activation series. We get started in 10 seconds in our quadruped position. So hands underneath those shoulders, knees underneath hips. Curl those toes under. Curl them under, tuck the hips, lift it up. 3-second hold in this bear crawl position, and then relax, let it down. You can count out your 3 seconds however you want to. Just try and keep it nice and slow because we are only going through this once. So you really want to squeeze through the core, little tuck, pull it in, squeeze the quads as well. Wake everything up, especially if you're not adding this onto a workout and this is your fresh start. Breathe. One more time, hold it. Quick flip over, dead bug. We're going to do right arm, left leg. Try to keep that lower back in contact with the floor. Hands above those shoulders, knees above hips. Right arm, left leg, keeping the hips slightly tucked. So as soon as that lower back starts to come off the ground, or you feel too much tension and you can't keep it there, that's your range of motion. So maybe that's up here, and that's totally fine. Just keep that tuck the whole way through. We'll stick with the right side for our arm for this full 30 seconds, and then we switch. A little break, we're just switching sides. So left arm will be the mover, right leg will be the mover. Get that tuck going, lift it up. Left arm, right leg. Sometimes it takes me a couple of seconds to figure it out. You see me thinking. This is going to be such a quick workout. As I mentioned, nice little add-on if you've already gotten in some movement for the day, or it could be a great standalone. Get a nice little sizzle going in the core. Breathe. Keep that tuck. I just came untucked. Relax. Lengthen those legs. Hands are going to come above the head. We're going to do a full body roll up. Carve out that spine. Some nice C shape. Straighten it out. Reach above your head, and then you reverse it. Carve it out again, and slowly release it down. Reach above the head. Take this wherever it can go for you. So if you can't roll it all the way back down or sit all the way back up, make it work for you. You can also bend your knees, and that might make it a little bit easier, and keep with a crunch. Okay, belly's a little warm. We can get right into our first circuit. So we've got 3 exercises, 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 3 rounds. It's super quick, I promise you. Getting this clock reset, 10-second countdown, lay it back on your back. If you got up like me, we have scissor kicks and leg lowers. Fingertips, tickle the ears. Head, chest, and shoulders lift, extend the legs. One leg crosses over the other. You can point the toes, or you can keep nice flat foot. I like to point. It just keeps me in better engagement. Keep that tuck. And once you've got that, you can lift and lower. Modification, you can keep head, chest, and shoulders on the ground. You can bend the knees and shorten the lever of your range. So many options there. Stay here. We have an oblique swivel. We're going to reach for those heels on either side. Tuck. Head, chest, and shoulders up. Reaching same side heels, keeping that crunch position the whole time. If that's too strenuous for you, reduce your range. You can take hands behind the head. Just give your head a little cradle to support the neck. Or you can come down in between. So you can reach, reach, release. Reach, reach, release. And last but not least, flip it over for forearm plank. Elbows right underneath those shoulders, palms flat on the ground. Squeeze everything. Hold. Your gaze is right above those fingertips. Pelvic tuck, squeeze the quads, shoulders pulled away from those ears, and don't hold your breath. That's always key here. Whenever we're doing an isometric hold, sometimes we want to follow along with the breath. Don't hold it. Breathe deeply. Your option here is to lower to those knees, but still keep that contraction in the core. Still work. Quick flip back over for round 2. All right, we have all of our modifications, so you take what works for you. Head, chest, and shoulders up. I'm going to go with the lift and lower, working in my range that keeps my lower back on the floor. Try not to raise your knees above hip height. So once we come here, we disengage the core. So you want to make it more challenging and keep it engaged the entire time. Breathe, only 5 seconds. Feet down, flat on the ground. We have our oblique swivels, reaching for those heels. Get that tuck. Right about now is where we start kind of feeling a little bit of a burn, but it's not bad yet. Like, we're still good. I'm sweating, but we can't go by me. So I literally start sweating at the sight of the whiteboards. I'm like, oh my goodness, the workout's coming. Remember your options here. Reach, reach, release, a little bit of core disengagement to give yourself a break. Flip it over, forearm plank. Trying to be as quiet as possible in my transition so you hear me clunking. Up and hold. Breathing deeply. This is just as much mental as it is physical. You have to be mentally engaged with each move to get the most bang for your buck. Otherwise, you're just going through the motions and maybe not getting the optimal muscle recruitment. Flip it over one last time for our scissor kicks. Maybe if you weren't lowering, we try it this time because it's the last round. I said maybe, not a requirement. You can even bend those knees, shorten the lever, stay within a lower range of motion. Your core is still working. You can lower torso down to the ground and just stick with moving the legs, but keep that hip tuck. Up, under, hold. I know, the whole time. Oblique swivels, reaching for those heels. Breathe, tuck. Reach and reach. Make sure you're breathing throughout this move as well. So I will take the modification, reach, reach, disengage, relax, because I want to keep moving rather than taking a full 5 seconds to take a break. And forearm plank. Last move before our quick water break. And then we have one more circuit. Told you it was quick. Hold and breathe. Don't forget knees can come down if necessary. Otherwise, we're up here, holding, hanging out, feeling good. If you're here, keep that tuck. Keep that tuck. 10 seconds. Let's all come up. Well, I encourage you to come up. It's not a requirement. And release. Nicely done. It's time for your first water break. You can stay where you are. Hopefully you have some water nearby. We've got another core circuit, and then you'll be into your cool down. I'll see you soon. Welcome back from your water break. If you got up like me to get water, make your way back to your mat for core circuit number 2. Same format, 3 moves, 30 on, 10 off, 3 rounds. We start in 10 seconds. You're gonna lay it on the fleshy part of your glutes on the right side. We have oblique V-ups. So here you are on your hip, roll it back slightly, elbow bent, glue your inner thighs together, and drive those legs up towards the ceiling as you use your obliques to have your upper body meet your lower. This arm can be here as support. It's got a nice bend in the elbow, but you're not leaning on it so fully that you're pressing through it and cheating. It's just a little support. If necessary, bend the knees, or you can keep them on the ground and stick on upper part of the body. I know, a lot of info, but I'm trying to give you as many opportunities as possible to join in. Flip it over to the left side, same deal. You might find that one side is a little easier to maneuver than the other. Totally fine. Try not to crowd your neck, so shoulder is still away from those ears. Option, still lean back, up and reach. I know it's not as big of a movement, but you're still working, or you can bend those knees. Wow. Flip it over, full plank position. Take a wide stance on your legs to keep those hips squared to the ground. You're gonna reach. Wide stance, right arm palm faces floor, reach, hold for a couple counts, and back down. A quick 3-second hold. 3, 2, 1, and release. 3, 2, 1, release. You want to make it harder? Bring the feet closer together. Try and keep those hips squared. You need a little reprieve. Drop to those knees. Keep that hip tuck. And breathe. Look at that, run around 2. And I don't know what that is. Don't get fuzzy. Rock it onto the right side. Glue it together. This is definitely my easier side. Not easy, just easier. Exhale, press the air out of the diaphragm, make it easier to squeeze and contract those muscles and come up. Less than 10. Holy smokes. Yeah, that was me almost falling over on the ground. That's pretty sad. Shift it onto the left side. It's amazing how I panicked, even though there's like nowhere to fall. I was like, oh no. Oh yeah, that side is definitely not happy. It's like, what are we doing? Like, we're doing fun things, left side. So, fleshy part. You're on your glutes, not directly on your hip bone. My, oh my. See, at least I'm aware, and I will bend my knees on that left side. Full plank. Reach. Try to keep those palms facing the floor. The wider the stance, the more stable the base. It just makes it slightly easier to do. Keep the hips tucked. Drop to those knees if necessary. Try to focus on continuous movement if you can. Keep the hips tucked, glutes are turned on. One more round of everything. Yay! Super quick. Fleshy part. This might be a combination of straight leg, bent leg, me possibly just sitting and staring at you. Keep moving. Ooh, my belly's on fire. For once, it's not hunger. Oh my goodness. Left side. Trying to be dainty. I know it doesn't look cute, but I made it to the left. Yes, that was my hip. Doesn't hurt. Holy smokes. Okay. Come on. What do I got? 10 seconds. I mean, yay! Actually, yay. Because there's one more. We'll fight. Okay. Give it all you got. Last 30 seconds of work. You get a quick water break to regroup, and then we have a super quick stretch for your cool down. You can repeat the cool down if necessary, or add on any stretches or flows that help you return to normal. And relax. Quick water break. Come back to the mat for a quick cool down. See you soon. Welcome back from your quick water break. Join me back on the mat for your super brief cool down. We've got 3 stretches, about 30 seconds per stretch, and then you're done. I'm just keeping myself accountable. You're going to bring it down to the mat for child's pose. Take those knees further than hip width apart. Heels or toes can come together, whatever's most comfortable for you. Press your glutes back between those legs, hands above the head, let the chest and the head just float down towards the ground. So you actively press your palms into the ground, extend those arms overhead. Breathe. Deep breaths in through the nose and then exhale out through the mouth. Nice and even. Let's take one more. And let it out. Come on up onto all fours, your quadruped position, knees under hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, lower the belly, gaze towards the ceiling. Continue with this flow of exhaling and inhaling in your cat-cow. Taking it at a speed that works for you. We're going to lay it down onto our bellies. Quick cobra stretch. So lengthen the body, lower it down the best way that you can get down there. Keep those legs straight behind you, hands roughly underneath those shoulders. They can be slightly ahead of them. And press up and hold. If you need to, you can lengthen those arms out even further ahead of you into more of like a forearm plank position. And take a modification to that cobra. This is about you feeling the best in your stretch. So all along the front of the belly, you feel amazing. And release. Gently coming up and out of that. Rock it back, sit it up nice and tall. You can either sit cross-legged or you can just sit on your heels like me. Let's just take a nice deep breath together. Inhale up. And exhale. Let it out. Nicely done. You made it through that super quick core workout. As I said, repeat the cool down if you need to, add on what you need to. Either way, I'm so glad that you showed up with me today. Once again, my name is Tasha, and I hope I get to see you again soon. Workout complete.